Another fantastic day in the neighborhood. Yeah, really. But yeah, not too good. But that's life, right? Pretty much. I'm gonna find a position that's comfortable. Wind over here. It's windy over here for some reason. All right. Ugh. This is, I should have used a holder for the camera, tripod thing. Anyway, yeah. Pyrrho. Okay, Pyrrho made a video. Barklord commented on it. Skyzer. It's just this general subject of, where's the truth lead? Number one, is it worth gleaning the truth? Because people will abuse the power that comes with advancement. The whole conversation sort of got me thinking about the movie Inherit the Wind, and there's this scene in the case. It's really a really great with Spencer Tracy, and he's talking about progress, and you can just see it being something written by Mark Twain or something. I mean, it was just really a great little bit of jargon, about the mosquito. What are we? Are we anything? Do we amount to anything? The mosquito is more prolific, the elephant is bigger, and this is that, and all that kind of crap. And then it goes into the technology thing, and the fact that you can conquer the air, but the clouds will smell of gasoline. You can get the telephone, but you'll lose the charm of distance. And that you have to pay for progress, and that part of the payment for progress is also. In the movie, the theme is the acceptance of, that the Garden of Eden and the simple poetry of Genesis is poetry. It is crap, and we have to grow up and accept reality and all that crap. Well, anyway, so Barklord is basically taking, then the other theme, I'll bring up Star Wars again, is this whole idea that, you need the magic in there. That everybody's got to be, it's got to be the force of evil, the Emperor with his little sorcerer powers against the good guy, good force Jedis. And when you look at it, almost it's like they are the cause of the problem. I mean, in the end, it's a battle between the wizards, not a battle between politics or a way of life or a way of living. I mean, you never even got to understand exactly what was so horrid about the Emperor's system. It seemed to be able to create great technology, all this other stuff. It did seem to be a tremendous, nobody had any women. I mean, you wonder where all the women were. There weren't any in that movie. But anyway, that's a side issue. Cloud. Wow. How unusual. Fluffy, gasoline-smelling cloud. So anyway, there's flaws in this lens. Anyway, I'm going to give me some better ones. Anyway, I should just find out which ones you combine together why go into a whole nother realm of knowledge? So anyway, there's the phrase, what the hell is it? I lost it now. Power is power. No. Power is money. No. Power, money is power. No. Damn, well, I'll have to come back to that because I can't remember the phrase. This sort of stalls the whole conversation, doesn't it? But anyway, there's a liability to progress. There's just no doubt about that. I mean, you can make bigger mistakes, the more power you have, and that's what we've done. We've certainly made some big mistakes. The power's been used by people who don't understand its origins, don't understand what progress is, don't understand all that stuff. They just understand, wham, wham, I want kind of bullshit. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to hammer the world with my science power. And they don't have the vision thing to go with it. They don't have any respect for that the only real use of this science is to improve the quality of people's lives. At least they don't have a rational theory of life improvement. It seems their theory is based on, the world is improved if I'm, world dictator or some kind of crap like that. Or if I'm at least a millionaire on a yacht, then somehow the world is improved. The function of the machine called human is improved. So anyway, Skyzer was also in this. It's an interesting conversation thread. I guess it'd be, might as well post a link to it. It's probably worth reading. But Pyrrho's video was not that much. I mean, I don't care for his video. It was kind of rambly and, you know, didn't say much. And then he followed it up with a video where he's basically placating the mystics, placating the mumbo jumbo that, yeah, I use the word spirituality, and I have a conception of this notion of, you know, intuition and, you know, foreknowledge and magical powers, and yeah, I know that it's all probably just bullshit, but that's okay because I'll play with the bullshit. And you know, that was, in my opinion, kind of a lame sellout. That, yeah, I'm going to placate people who don't really care what the truth is, don't care to know the truth. They want to just live what they consider to be some sort of benign lie. So if you just stay in some kind of primitive status quo where you live a sufficient number of years with a sufficiently substantial delusion of grandeur of some kind, or a narrative of Jedi circle of lifing, you know, I'll give birth to some Jedis and they'll go out in the world and Jedi. You know, that's another thing that seemed kind of lame, is all these Jedis just seem to, you know, fall into obscurity and decay in the end anyway. So what's all this force doing them? That they have so much force power that they can't even live with other people? They're so in tune with the force that they know, get the fuck away from human beings. It seems like they were all hermits. It seems like they all couldn't give a shit about hanging out with people and dealing with people, which is funny. You know, if the force is supposed to be all this lifey shit that you gain all your power from, they don't seem that damn comfortable with it. They don't seem to want to be communed with any part of it that has anything to do with something having an actual, you know, beyond bacteria. They don't seem too interested. Well, anyway, whole nother subject on top of this subject. I'm sorry, I'm really having a bad day. Just not feeling too good today. So anyway, just maybe not enough sleep. Maybe that's it. Maybe hopefully that's it. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we do. We're these emotional animals, and they give us jackhammers. We're dangerous. If you give a bunch of gorillas instantaneous knowledge of just power tools, they're going to become very dangerous, because, you know, if you don't give them knowledge of the harm they can do and the consequences and the long-term progression. And so, you know, a lot of these whatever they are, these mystic types or whatever, these magic believer-inners, you know, they'll rag on modern technology like agriculture or something. But you could rag on the automobile, you could rag on green energy cars even. Even the green people have all these fallacies, like, yeah, they're going to solve the problem with electric cars. And no, it solves a pollution problem in cities. It doesn't even solve pollution as a problem, because you still have to make the power somewhere to run the car, so you still got to dump the carbon into the atmosphere. And then you have these higher costs of energy distribution, because now you're going to have to distribute the energy to the car in an inefficient manner. Gasoline moves through pipes and through tanker cars and through a lot of vehicles very efficiently. It gets to its end destination without losing anything, where electricity loses a ton of its, you know, all these wires out here are heating the atmosphere every day. They're magnetizing and doing things that would be considered work, because they're interacting with other matter. And friction, it's a friction system, electricity distribution. And then it's hugely impractical because of the lithium batteries. Ain't that? You're going to need a better battery, because you don't have enough lithium to even make your electric cars in some efficient manner. So yeah, the electricity was a good augmentation. The mixed vehicle is a good idea, but then you're talking about expenses. And, you know, if we just said, you know, if we just made rules that there was two kind of vehicles, one's for local travel that could only go 30 miles an hour, and one's for distances that only went 60 miles an hour, or whatever the catch would be. You know, they go on vehicle trains, you know, or something, or whatever it would be. You drive your golf cart onto a train and get from here to there in terms of traveling any kind of distances. I mean, there's ways to master the efficiency, but those ways will end up knocking some people off of their yachts. So the people can't live on yachts, and we can't have progress and yacht sailing. And so that's the vulnerability, is we put this stuff in the hands of individuals, and individuals turn it into shit. Because they have corrupt ideologies. They don't believe in the science, they don't believe in human progress, they just believe in their own aggrandizement, their own comfort. And so the gripe isn't the gripe isn't knowledge, the gripe isn't science. You can't gripe with those things in and of themselves, because those things in and of themselves are quite brilliant. All you can gripe with is the nature of human beings. And so now we're back to the real source of the conflict is the Jedi. The real force of the conflict is, what the hell are you idiots doing? Fighting over shit based on your personalities and whether somebody's your daddy and who hurt your feelings and all of this other, he insulted you, or some other kind of bullshit. You're not giving a shit about all the people in between, all the people whose lives are going to be altered because of your conflict. Whose planet's going to get destroyed, or whose Death Star that they're working on is going to be blown up, or whatever other peripheral crapola, all the wasted, human enterprise that's going to be squandered and wasted through your conflicts and your nonsense, and the waste that's created by it. The unsustainable question is just, again, this is another issue where you put the technology in the hands of people who are going to use it before it's been tested. They want it now. I mean, it's not the scientists who are forcing their product on the people. So to reach to another movie, there's a movie that does Dr. Ehrlich's life, and there's sort of an irony in there, in that when he has a cure for the lung disease, not pleurisy, but anyway, they went to kill a ton of kids, so the throat closes up. Speaking of which, what the hell is that? Oh, holy crap, what's that? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he takes the vaccine, and actually, before it's been proven, and he gives it to kids because they're going to die, and he's going to give it to them, extra ones, and not be scientific. He's going to break the scientific rule of only giving it to half the kids to be able to test what kids do better, because he sees the urgency of the need and says, give it to them. And then later, when he comes up with a cure for syphilis, it's another, his will, his desire is that, no, let's be cautious. Okay, the thing works, but, we've tested it, and it works, but we don't know all the catches here. We don't know what's going to happen if somebody has high blood pressure or flat feet, whether this is not going to work for them. And so we got to do this, we got to move slow. And then the doctors are after him saying, well, come on, 1 minute you got to do it because they're choking. Well, we've got people choking here. They got nothing. You can't hold back. If you got a cure, you got to liberate it. And there's a consequence to that expediency, that you pay a price for that lack of discipline. But you'd pay a price for it if you didn't exercise it. And that's the nature of this conflict, is that what makes it so impossible in a way is because there's principles of that aren't magical. They just have to do is the game worth playing if you have to play that kind of game. It's like you could argue for torture, and you could say, yes, we can win if we torture people. You could logically come up with that description, that the very fact is that you could prevent the end scenario, some earth destroying catastrophe, and let's say that in your deluded psychology that would be a good thing, is to prevent the end of the world. You could do it through torture, but as soon as you go there,